Yes, people, welcome back to another video on Thai Sports, where Everton have got a massive win against Aston Villa. Probably their biggest win of the season when you look at it, home and away form and stuff like that. And you're going against a team that are competing mathematically for the Premier League title in Aston Villa. Have been on a great run in terms of their last 15 to 20 games, maybe losing one or two of them max, if that, off the top of my head. And Everton have gone there with a team that are missing Dewsbury Hall, with a team that are missing in Dye, a team that are missing Idrissa Gueye, a team that are missing Branthwaite. When you look at it, even Michael Keane, key components of an Everton team, when you look at their squad, that isn't massive. And they've gone there under David Moyes and kept a clean sheet, won the game 1-0. And again, who has scored the goal? 3 in 4 for Mr. Thierno Barry. And I told people, when I made content at the start of the season and I analyze transfers that are made, I look at teams like Nottingham Forest, Everton, and so forth. I told people, Tiono Barry will be a very good signing long-term for Everton. And if you don't believe me and you're watching this for the first time, go back and type my name in, type in Tiono Barry and look at the content I made on him, because I've been following him in the Liga. I've been looking at the striker market that people have been going through at the moment. And look, I'm a bit older. I've seen strikers now from their start of their careers to the end of their careers. And we're looking at a market now where the striker market properly isn't great. The best strikers in world football, the list isn't great. So what I'd now do is look at the best strikers in the under 23s coming up in Europe and stuff like that. And you've got Sesko at Man United. You've obviously got Tiono Barry that was at Villarreal. I'm not saying he's the top, but you look at players of potential with something to offer, people that are going to grow into their frame and develop. And I said Tiono Barry will be one of them. And when Everton signed him for 27 million, I was like, this is going to be a good signing. Don't expect an instant impact straight away, because that's what a lot of fans want. And I get it. When you come to the Premier League, a lot of pressure, a physical league, you want instant results, especially if you're coming in to start. And I understand that you want your striker to score goals. But what I always felt with Tiono Barry is that Everton are not signing him for right now. Yes, he's playing right now and he's starting games. Fair play to him because he's taken Beto's position. But Tiono Barry was a striker for me that was going to take a year to bed into the Premier League. And then potentially next season, when you see him at 24 years of age, see him explode. He's only 23. But so far, 3 goals in the last 4 games. He's finding confidence. He's now leading the line for Everton. He's building chemistry with the midfielders around him. And I'll be honest with you, he is becoming a handful. Last season in La Liga, 11 goals, 4 assists, 15 contributions in 35 games. Now, people might not think that's amazing, but to get double digits as a young striker starting for Villarreal is decent. And to see his all-round play, sometimes it's not all about scoring the goals. And I told people this, with Tiono Barry, it's not just about goals with him. You get players like, I don't want to say Erling Haaland, because Erling Haaland's obviously magical at what he does. But when people don't see Erling Haaland score, everyone's like, oh, what's he doing? Is he involved in the game? Do you get what I mean? Players like Jamie Vardy, for example. Jamie Vardy scores a lot of goals, but if he weren't scoring, it's like, is he involved in the game? What Tiono Barry brings is that if he's not scoring, he's involved in the game. If you lot have not seen how physically beastie he is, it's remarkable for a player to come into the Premier League and dominate aerially in them duels over all these Premier League defenders, game by game by game. You'd be amazed. When you watch him leap and the ball goes in the air, crosses are coming in, long kicks from Jordan Pickford. Tiono Barry is always a threat. He's winning more duels than he's losing. He's occupying defenders. He's a handful. He's a menace. He's one of them players that you step out on a pitch as a defender and you naturally think now, do you know what? I'm not going to have an easy day because Tiono Barry is going to give me problems. He is going to be a nuisance. And I think now what I love as well about the Everton fans, if any Everton fans are watching this, I am going to commend you, because there was a game probably about 5-6 weeks ago where Barry hadn't scored yet. And I think he might have got subbed off. And you guys are all applauding him. Why? Because you could appreciate the hard work that he's putting in on the pitch. You can see that he's causing problems. You can see that there's a player in there. And you can see that once the goals start coming, that's an added bonus. And I love that from you guys, because you've stayed loyal. You stuck by him. You've not started booing him. You've not put him under pressure. You've realised that he's a £27 million striker, come from the Liga, 22, 23 years of age when he arrived. And you're like, okay, we're going to give him time. We're going to let David Moyes work with him. We're going to see what he can do over a longer period of time. And all of a sudden, right now, you're looking at it in January, 5 months after he signed, and you're thinking, we're slowly starting to get rewards. He's starting to make a difference. Scoring in games that you're now winning. A big goal today away at Aston Villa. And it was a lovely finish, by the way. The ball falls to him and his anticipation, his instinct to get in, follow it up as a striker, key little movements that can get you 5 to 10 goals over a season, anticipation, instinct, being in the right place, and to calmly dink it over Martinez and finish it with his left foot, his weaker foot. Lovely finish. And that's a sign of a player with confidence. So I like making content like this because I like talking about players that are not always at the big teams, but watching these teams and seeing if a player is improving, seeing if a player that I've spoken about on a number of occasions now, saying that he is going to be a good player. He's got the traits to suit the Premier League. Did I expect him to start growing into the Premier League this quick as we've seen in the last month or so? Probably not. But Beto has forced his hand. David Moyes is looking for results as Everton manager, of course, and he's looking at a player that, are you in form? Or are you better than this one I've got? The answer is yes. Do I think Tiono Barry should be playing every week, week in, week out? No, not because I don't think he's good enough, just because I think at his age, it's good to have a senior figure, someone who's more experienced that he can learn from and play off. Someone that can start this game, I'll start the next one. Sometimes go 2 up top if you need a goal. Rotation. And that's why obviously you're linked with Esnaziri from Fenerbahce, who's another physical striker, plays for Morocco, 28 years of age, been there, won the Europa Leagues and stuff with Sevilla. I think they won the Europa League, I believe, as well. I think he did with them. You look at that, and that would be a perfect sort of bounce off. Because Beto, unfortunately for me, is not cutting it in the Premier League, and elsewhere he probably would do well, and a fair play to him if he does. But when you look at a player like Tiono Barry, physical, great in the air, brilliant defenders in terms of, I watched him at Manchester United when Everton beat us 1-0, and he was winning everything. I was getting so frustrated, but at the same time thinking, yeah, if it went against us, I'm really impressed by this performance. You look at his hard work, running the channels, willing to commit defenders, running down the line, pulling them out of space, holding the ball up, link up play. It's all getting better. And I think when you're at a team like Everton that are not expected to dominate possession, not expected to win every game, you need players that have a lot of the key fundamentals. So like Dewsbury Hall, great at retaining the ball, good ball carrier, drives up the pitch, great. You got Jack Grealish, can hold the ball, win fouls, get good crosses in. You got Ilman Ndiaye, a fantastic dribbler, good finisher, causes chaos. What you need sometimes is a team that's defensively astute. You've got rugged, robust defenders in Tarkowski, Michael Keane, Mikalenko, players that just, a consistent 7 out of 10s most week. And then you've got Idrissa Gueye, who's experienced out there at AFCON right now, but, is strong, committed. And then you've got to have your players out there that can create match-winning moments. Dwight McNeil comes in, lovely left foot, shoots, deflected out. He finishes it, Tiono Barry. But what you need is players of certain profiles that can help you get up the pitch, remain up there and cause problems and get you big goal moments when you need it. And Tiono Barry is currently right now doing that for Everton. But it's his overall profile, which I just like. I think he's growing. He's going to get better. And he really suits the Premier League. And I think for 27 million in today's market, over the long term, that hopefully Everton will retain his services before, hopefully 3 seasons, something like that. Because if he does really well, Tiono Barry, then obviously other clubs are going to come for him when he's like 26 or whatever it may be. But then Everton are going to get money back because that means he's doing well. You're going to get profit and you'll be able to go in and find another striker. If he doesn't do well, you're then looking at it as, okay, we spent 27 million on a talented France under 21 forward, obviously now older. But it hasn't quite worked out, but he's given us some good moments and he stays there and he's a steady Eddie. Or you don't really lose out. And if he moves on, you'll probably get the same sort of fee because of today's market. So when you look at Everton, it's smart business buying Tiono Barry. It's a smart move for Tiono Barry to go to a team like Everton where he's going to get regular game time and build himself up into the Premier League. And you've got a manager in terms of David Moyes who will give you that trust, give you that foundation to build and grow. And you've got exciting players around you, like Ndiaye when he comes back, Grealish, Dewsbury Hall and stuff like that. And Everton are potentially on the right path. Yes, they need a few more players in the squad because I think when you lose out on them, Ndiaye's and Idrissa Gueye and players, the quality does drop a little bit. But today, again, solid, compact, hard to beat, hard to break down, and a massive, massive 3 points for Everton and David Moyes. The new fans should be happy tonight. But Tiono Barry, I just want to give him his plaudits because 3 goals in 4 games, nice finish today, growing and getting into that number 9 role for Everton. And the fans have taken to him and they trust him. So I hope it continues for him. Big up yourself, Tiono Barry. Make sure you like this video, people. Make sure you subscribe for great content and let me know your thoughts, Everton fans. I love to interact with you. And I hope you all have a lovely week. Take care.